salamat sa Robert. Sabi ko kanina, I've been telling him, hindi ako qualified magsalita dyan. Because you are the title, World Class Forester. Sabi ko, I'm not world class. I might have achieved maybe something in my life, but to my mind, I might not have the right to tie the shoelaces of some of you here when it comes to forestry. I'm so happy to see you, all of you. Can you imagine first time na makita, we see all the luminaries in forestry together. So at the end of it, we have this support. Imagine the Dr. Soil, Dr. Bonino, the Dean, the Chancellor, former President of SSFI, my God, they're all here, former Bureau Director of SSFI. So I think you're in good hands. But of course, tama si Doc Manny, later on, we have to see bakit tayo nasa sa description ni Doc Manny, nasa bottom. I think later on, we really have to discuss now. With respect to to have achieved something in life as a forester, sa tingin ko may halong konting swerte na rin. Kaya anong swerte? Definitely meron. But somehow you really have to be, it should also be a conscious effort. Hindi mo pwedeng hindi. You have to plan it, you have to be conscious of your actions, very calculating. Kasi kung hindi, madadapa ka. Some of you might not even understand how come we were able to get this very big project before. Bakit hanggang ngayon ini-implement tayo ng NGP? This will become an 18-year program. First program, I believe, na gumamot ng gano'n. Because this will end in 2028. Bakit ang Pangulo bumirma ng isang programa lagpas ng dalawang administration sa kanya? We were able to convince him at the time, first of all, is to make a forestry project as not a forestry project. Pag tinignan niyo yung executive order number 26, that forestry project is not a forestry project. Basahin niyo yun. It is a poverty reduction project. Why? Because this is just for your information on what happened during the debate when we were pushing for this program. Forestry was never there. Forestry, the cabinet does not understand it. Forestry is not in the priority. That's what Doc Manny said. It's at the bottom. If you push for it as a forestry project, they won't approve it. Then the board will not approve it. The economic team will not finance it. So what I did is to see what the cabinet would fund. And at the time, Pinoy was so focused on poverty reduction. That's why the PPP became the number one project. PPP, right? Pantawid, Pamilya, Program. So my argument at the time was, how come you have a Pantawid Pamilya program and you consider our constituents in the upland as the poorest of the poor, and you are not including them? So at the time, I was able to get the support of PSWD, of course the NEDA, of course, started to look at us, Department of Finance and DBM. You are telling us that the poorest of the poor, you see the literature, it's all in the upland. And then you are not included. So, you have to include that. Include us. But how do we include us to the point that we achieve our objective, but we are not, but actually a poverty or PSWD program? So, nangyayari sa atin, it's a concern of PSWD, but we were able to achieve the program to the point that we even overextended it to 2028. Right. So, at the time, when I said these two items, DBS started to call me, they started to call me, and of course, the would really want to do it. Because sabi ko, may 10 10 million uplanders, the poorest of the poor, and they are not accessible to you. And the second item that I think convinced the president at the time, I was telling them, which is a little bit overstretched, that there is honor in the upland. These people would not want to accept money by simply receiving money. And di ba yung PPP, you just receive money, you bring your child to school, you bring your wife to the clinic, to check up and so on. Those are the requirements. Sabi ko, no. In the upland, they do not want to receive money if they don't work. So, if you want to give them money, they will produce seedlings for you. And they will plant trees for you. So, mas natuwa yung kabinete at the time because can you imagine you are, yung iba walang conditions, of course, like conditions, those are conditions to bring your children to school. But tayo, ang lumabas sa atin, we were given money, but we planted and we raised seedlings. So it was not simply a forestry project. It became a Cosco work program. That's why Rick Calderon was able to hire millions of people for the duration of 6 years, di ba? So to my mind, let me now raise this question. What is really the problem of the sector? That's why I was reading the 7-point program. I saw it there on was reading it. I think we are addressing it somehow. What is really the problem? Because if money is saying we are at the bottom, why are we at the bottom? So what is the problem? Because the sad part really in problem solving if you are trying to solve the wrong problem. So you must be able to accept what is really the problem. I believe the true problem we have right now for the profession is relevance. Relevance. We are not being considered as relevant. And bakit nangyayari? That's the problem there. Why are we tolerating? Sa tingin ko, relevance can easily be addressed because we are not irrelevant to it. We are not. We are not irrelevant. But the problem we have right now is relevance. Why? I'll give you some examples. I was reading the Inquirer today. You try to check that mamaya. The biggest article in the opinion page is forestry. You know who's reading it? Who's writing it? A person who is actually a doctor in the medical profession. Anak ni Rodel. Si Gajon. It was beautifully written, discussing even the scientific names, the quoting the hectareages. It's all about forestry. And he was talking about it on a personal basis. Kasi sabi na, I climbed this mountain, this peak, these areas, I did that. And it is not being discussed by a forester. So, we can only be relevant if we attach ourselves for the profession to something relevant. And what are the really relevant issues right now? Of course, we have to attach ourselves to climate change, to water, disaster, biodiversity, and so on and so forth. You can come up with a list of items which I believe can be used to make ourselves relevant. Because if we try to make ourselves relevant, forestry per se, I think it's going to be uphill. Forestry per se will be uphill. But if we make ourselves relevant in climate change, oh my God, we are very relevant. Try to read, I think, the IPCC report 2018. 2018 but 2019. It says there that the cheapest and the best way to address climate change is actually to plant 3 trillion trees. yun lamang daw. You don't have to worry about this, all these proposals to put a blanket in the globe. Meron mga ganun proposal, technological solution. Sabi nila, you don't have to do all these things. Just go back to the actual cause of climate change. Is the reduction of the sink or the forest. Talagang nag-shrink na siya. So, in effect, 10 years ago, we've been correct. Meaning, kung hinihingihan tayo ng 3 trillion, baka yung contribution natin, natapos na natin as Philippines. So, what I'm saying is, we just have to find a way to do a correct messaging. Correct messaging, attaching us to correct issues, biodiversity, of course, not talking about forestry, but you can never talk about forestry and biodiversity without forestry anyway. So, these are, I believe, the things that the SSFI should look into. Try to see it. Try to be active in it. Ang galing-galing naman ang head ng IEC natin. Tonton will do that. I think we have to continue to be present in these issues. I'll give you one more example. I think the Congress will soon discuss on whether or not we really have to push for a lockdown. It might be discussed soon. The SSFI, I believe, should have a position already because we will ask. To my mind, the very reason why we are also being considered as not so relevant is only because of that issue. The forestry profession is so much attached to extracting, not on the climate change, not on biodiversity, not on plantation. Alam bang ilalabas nilang guidelines or proposal is to ban logging but incentivize tree crops, which actually Doc Manny was saying. We have to push more for the plantation and incentivize plantation. If Congress can do that, there is really no need for logging, for timber harvesting, for natural forest, natural. When we say banning, it's only natural. But timber harvesting will have to be deregulated, meaning incentivize it, even give free land if possible, to that extent. So, if this will be asked in the future, SSFI should be ready. How do we incentivize tree crops? I think Doc Manny was already telling us examples again how it's being done in the world. In somewhere else. The other thing that you have to look into, soon, all we have planted in the past 10 years, some are already being harvested and are now the sources of illegal logging. Can you imagine that? So those things we have to discuss. And the last item, when we took over in 2010, the data that you have in FMB was 100,000 hectares forest loss every year, right? 100,000 hectares of forest loss every year. Can you imagine easily, based on satellite imagery, has just released an information that the forest of the Philippines increased by 16%. That is so big. Yung America, China, that increased ng 0.1, 0.2%, it's already a fifth. Dito sa atin, we increased by 16%. So this is, the reason why I'm raising this is because it is about time to really talk to Congress at this time. I had a chance of talking to the speaker one time in BGC, here in BGC. It's a casual meeting. Sabi niya sa akin, we are now passing or we are now doing what we call evidence-based legislation. Evidence-based legislation. This is just like US Congress that you don't pass legislation without research and so on. What evidence do you need to show that NGP and total ban issued by us at in 2010 as effective, with a 16% increase in forest cover. So what evidence do you need? You have a 16% increase for 100,000 forest loss for decades, from in the 70s, in the 80s, and in the 90s. We were losing forest at an average of 100,000 hectares per year. And now, history, based on satellite imagery, is saying we increased our forest by 16%. That is not the data being used by NLB. Can you imagine that? 16%. So, I believe it's about time to formalize those programs, even to formalize massive tree planting. Because last time I naisip ko si Obed, parang si Obed din nasalita. The president, I saw him on TV saying, we have to plant more trees. He was saying, I think he was saying it when he was in Mindanao. Yun ang sinasabi kong dapat yung society or the sector should know when to say something and when not to say something. But that time when the president said, we have to do more tree planting, my God, dapat yung society, sinunod-sunod nyo ng statement yun, the FMP should be saying, and then asking budget, increasing. Can you imagine, the NGP's budget is just one half of one street in the Philippines. Ano yung Calax? Almost 76 billion. Isang kalye. Tayo 36 billion buong Pilipinas. Anyway, let me end my statement of it. I believe we have to do a lot, but I believe the society is in good hands. With you here, Doc Bonita, the rest of the luminaries in forestry supporting you, I think we will achieve a lot. Thank you very much.